Hey, it's Charlie Merrill with Merrill Performance. I love push-ups and pull-ups. So I know how frustrating it is when someone's unable to do them. They're a perfect combination because you have a pushing exercise that helps develop the front of your body. You also have a pulling exercise that helps develop the back of your body. And together, they work a lot of muscle groups at once with just two simple exercises. The challenge is that there's a lot of technique involved with both of these movements. And I want to go over some of those nuances today, especially for one particular client who emailed me and has been struggling to figure out how to get back to doing these movements. When people are having shoulder pain from doing push-ups and pull-ups and really any other type of upper body work, I like to encourage them to shift their ratio of pushing versus pulling exercises from 1-to-1 to 1-to-2. So that's 2 pulling exercises for every 1 pushing exercise. And for a lot of upper body athletes, including throwing athletes, CrossFit athletes, rock climbing athletes, that ratio is a nice way to balance out what tends to be a very front body dominant pattern. So let's talk about push-ups and pull-ups, and I'll try to give you some advice on how to clean that up. So the first component of a good push-up is a tight midline. That means squeezing your butt, tightening your abs so you're in a rigid plank. That way as you start to descend, there's no sagginess this way, there's no instability this way. You're tight, squeeze your butt, tighten your abs. The second step is to put the energy through your hands into the ground as though you're spinning your hands out. So your fingers aren't actually going to twist, they're going to point straight forward, but as you put that energy into the ground, your shoulders rotate in the sockets so that your elbow, the front of your elbow, faces forward. So I'm going to put that energy into the ground. I'm going to come up into my plank with my butt tight and my abs tight, and then before I even start, I'm going to activate my shoulder blades by reaching to the ceiling. So this is relaxed with an inactive shoulder. This is contracted with an active shoulder. Now my shoulder blade is stable and it's ready to initiate the push-up. Because I have my elbows facing forward, as I start the push-up, my elbows will stay in as I get to the floor. As I go to push, instead of flaring out, they're going to stay into my side. I'm going to tighten my butt, tighten my abs, assuming they should already be tight, and then I'm going to push up back to the start. When I get to here, I'm not going to finish until I get fully reaching through my shoulder blade. This is the position where I'm strong to start the next rep. Down, up, reach. Okay? If that's still too hard initially, I'm going to bring the push-up up a little higher. You can use a box, you can use a couch, a chair. I'm using a bar. It's about waist height. I'm going to start with all the same things in mind. My butt squeezed, my abs are tight, my shoulders are activated. In this case, I'm externally rotating so my elbows face up. I'm going to reach through my shoulders to activate my shoulder blades like this, and then I'm going to initiate my push-up down to the bar. Come back up, reach, start the next rep. Come on up, reach, start the next rep. That little bit of a reach at the top is important because you have a muscle called serratus anterior that holds your shoulder blades against your rib cage so that your shoulder blades are stable. A third option, if it's still too painful to do a push-up, is to just train serratus anterior by reaching, relaxing, reaching, relaxing. You can do the same thing on the floor. You can even do this on a bench with dumbbells or during a bench press with a barbell. It's the same movement, same muscle gets activated. As I approach a strict pull-up, my shoulder blades are also important. I'm going to set my shoulder blades down and together so I have a solid foundation from which to pull. If I don't do this, my shoulder blades will be unstable, and as I pull from my elbows, it'll look very uncoordinated as well as feeling very weak. If I set my shoulder blades first, my elbows are very efficient at pulling me up to the bar. I'm staying tight in my abs and in my butt, just like the push-up. And I have a very efficient movement up to the bar. I can also work just the shoulder blade if a strict pull-up isn't possible, by just doing the setting, relaxing, setting and relaxing. This is a great way to work up to doing a strict pull-up again. If a strict pull-up isn't possible, using an elastic band that's relatively long and looping it over the pull-up bar is a great help. You can stick one foot through the end of the elastic band before jumping up to the pull-up bar. Then you can work on the same drill of pulling your shoulder blades down and together to learn how it feels to have a stable shoulder blade. The band then gives you a little bit of assistance to help you get up to the bar, and you can work on integrating your abs and your glutes with the proper pulling motion over time, eventually using less assistance. If you're not already doing push-ups and pull-ups in your gym routine, don't be intimidated. Give them a try, experiment. Start with just moving your shoulder blades to get awareness around where they are in space. Know that they're hard to see, they're hard to feel, so developing awareness around that part of your body is really important first step to accessing these movements. As always, I appreciate your comments and questions, and I appreciate you watching. Thanks for tuning in.